Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NAR Cast podcast. I am your host, Resolve Ventrelico. Today, we got a lot of people, actually not even a lot, currently in an Xbox party. So we're going to be talking about some topics. Meet Fatal and Draw. Draw.
Hello.
I call him Draw.
Hey.
He has a very long name.
Yes, just call me. Just call me Draw.
So I wrote some things down. So let's talk about Trump.
If I may, say something.
Yeah.
A lot of this, what he's saying is, especially for the upcoming election, definitely what he's saying is a lot of people usually at elections will say like a bunch of we'll make sure, taxes go lower than ever, kind of like that. What I'm trying to relate to the homeless issue that he brought up. And I feel like him saying that is definitely like an exaggeration, but there are a lot of people who love Trump out there that are willing to literally die for him. I mean, there's a lot of people who love Trump who will always be with him. But also, if I may add one more thing, this is going to go a little bit off topic, but Trump is like, between us and other nations, Trump's literally like the golden goose. If you don't know what I mean, he's kind of like the guy who stands between us, kind of like a guard dog. He's literally like a protector in some ways, but some other ways he's definitely not. If you understand what I'm saying in particular, like he protects us from China, from other countries like Russia and such in the past. I mean,
Yeah.
But right now we could use a little bit of that. But that's all I just wanted to say. If you guys want to say something,
I mean, really at this point, it's honestly scary on who's running. United States. Anyways, we got is everything good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, it's like I thought he was jogging or something like that. But yeah, I don't really trust on who's really running, United States, or who's taking charge of the decisions right now. But it's all, I don't know. It's like I'm in a weird spot when it comes to political stuff because just for everybody to know, I am a liberal and my religion is pantheism. So I believe in all religions as one, where I'm kind of learning from and all that.
Yeah, I could definitely respect that. Now, I have a little bit of a theory. I'm not going to really talk about it too much. I don't want to make this sound a little weird, but I think the the right, right? The right.
Yeah.
The right. They have always kind of been the same. I've heard from a lot of people, and I've done my research, and I've done I've done a lot of studying on it. But the right is always talking about the left. They're always talking about the left. But I feel like the right needs to focus on the bigger problem, because I feel like what's going on with the country right now is, I do think that there might be maybe a conspiracy. I'm not too sure. There might be a conspiracy with maybe a few government officials, or with conspiracy with China, because around the time Trump got arrested or something, there was those Chinese balloons coming over.
Oh yeah, I remember that was really scary.
It's so suspicious. I think that some of the government officials of us, I don't know if they're specifically on the Biden administration list, but I feel like they're at league with China, and I feel like they want socialism. But at the same time, I don't really know, because there's not really any.
There's actually so much going on with that, so it's like a lot of weird things happening. There was 2 spy balloons, I believe, and then next thing you know, there was a UFO that showed up right after, I believe, and they shot it down, but there was no more information on that situation. It was kind of they shot down an unidentified aircraft of some sort, but it wasn't really discussed any further than that. Now there was videos of them talking about it, but I don't think they really got down to the details of what, and not really even like describe the ship at least, or like whatever. It's really just mysterious right now. And like I feel like if anybody that would find out would probably be shot or hurt. I don't know. It's just already terrifying on its own.
Yeah, I think there is some suspicious stuff going on, and I'm not going to start making a bunch of, saying this and that, but there's definitely, I feel like there's definitely a something at work. I feel like maybe China's trying to maybe have some of our guys on the inside and trying to, have the US, United States collapse on the inside, because they can't literally, destroy us on the outside, but maybe they could destroy us on the inside. There's just so much suspicious stuff going on, and I'm getting a little worried.
I would say, it really does suck for like the position that we're in, and like everybody else, especially like Ukraine and stuff. So I just I don't want a war. Like I don't want none of it to happen, but everybody sees things differently, and that's, we can't change that, but it's better for people like us, and like we can just give off this type of information and like increase awareness between one another, and like hopefully we can stop the hate. I think that's really the goal here.
Exactly. Like, for example, there are so many movements going on, and it's almost like the country's being, like divided. Like there's the whole, LGBT community. There's the Black Lives Matter. There's all these movements, and it's just causing a lot of chaos between like retaliation, fighting back, and then there's All Lives Matter, then there's Blue Lives Matter, then there's just all these movements, and I feel like, why can't we accept from one another? But there's obviously some sort of anarchists who want to try to ruin that and make profit off of it. And I mean, making profit off it while most of the people suffer, some selfish stuff in my opinion, but it's just my opinion. I don't want to Yeah,
it's really hard to create equality for one another. Like I honestly, like, it's really hard. Like I really think it's going to be hard to make everybody equal, because this is like going on for like years, like 1,000 years, I'm guessing. Even longer than that. We're all battling something within our own culture. So it's like, acceptance is the best step first, and like understanding, and we all, have some problems, mental illness, and like issues going on with our lives. Just trying to make the world a better place. That's what the goal is in this podcast right now, is to, talk about these topics, even though they might be very sensitive to hear. So, I do want to talk about this other topic. It's called male versus female narcissists. The reason why I labeled it this is because there is a clear distinction between how male and females express their ego and narcissism. Now, in specifics, this is social media. This is what's going on in social media. Okay, so like, this is not really, I'm not speaking on what people is going on about their lives, like outside of it, but it's really the sense of toxicity, or like who's better than who type of situation. Like, the deal is that I want to find out, where is it coming from? Like, I read a couple of articles, start internet searching, reading on this, and like I really want to start with the men. So where does the male ego come from? So I read some things.
It's like how I feel about it.
Yeah.
If you may. A lot of it has to do with us trying to compete with one another, I'll say, and trying to oppress people that we don't really have to necessarily oppress, That's how I feel about it.
That's exactly, like, I talked about oppression before. That's a really major thing that's really going on in like dating and stuff. Like, I feel like dating has became harder now.
Yes, definitely.
people have certain expectations and standards to what they see. So
yes, of course.
This is very very sensitive, but like these are the cultural stereotypes for men that are like, you know, that's what's going on right now. So like these are the following questions. Am I strong enough? Am I wealthy enough? Do I meet the traditional definition of masculinity? Do I attract women? Do I control things or people? Do people recognize me for these things? And am I respected and reverted for them? Or yeah, I think it's revert for them. I think I missaid that. But yeah, it's like we are followed by these things and like these standards, and like I guess as men we're supposed to like follow by that, and it's very like it's very difficult because I don't think we could really express ourselves. I feel like we have to fit a certain role on certain things where it makes us feel like we can't really talk about these things. But narcissism is very, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, because having ego is not bad, because I feel like you can use ego for good, you know, like, you know, just to encourage yourself, to push yourself forward in life. But if it's to where you put down others and like discriminate people, like you think you're better than, I feel like there's some sort of like problem about that.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Like I see a lot of men that treat women as like trophies, like statues, you know? And like that's not
it's disgusting.
It's very weird. So I wouldn't know how to really put that, because this is coming from like a male, like, you know. So this is very some crazy stuff going on. So these are some common stereotypes for Americans. So it include boastful and arrogant, disrespectful of authority, extravagant and wasteful, ignorant of other countries and cultures, my bad, informal, loud and obnoxious, racist, wealthy, rude and immature. They think they know everything and think every country should imitate USA. Well, to be honest, this is what I'm reading from these websites. So some of these stuff is kind of over the top, but I would say in a typical sense that would be true. So I'm using that and how us men use our ego. So, and there's another thing going on. So it's kind of weird. Let me see if I can find this, because it's a very like strange place to talk about. It's not it's not really ideal in a sense. Let me see. So yeah, for example, men are supposed to be in charge, strong, take care of family, and bear the responsibilities for the livelihood of family. And I think that goes with like the manhood and like the ego sense in a way. But let's talk about like the women's side. When it comes to social media and like, I guess, it, like I would say, for example, Instagram. So I read this on a website. It says a woman's self-esteem is dependent on what other people think about her. This is according to what's going on Instagram and like how women expresses themselves on Instagram, which is not a bad thing. But I think the problem about that is it's like just the same thing with men and their toxic masculinity. It, you know, it's encouraging to other people. And like, I guess they don't want I don't want people to like take that, because I mean I see it as everybody's different, and you know I love everybody. Like
Yeah,
I believe everybody is special in their own way, but it's like I think when it comes to narcissism and like and just ego in general, we have this ideal like lifestyle, this ideal person, right? And
Right.
I guess like that plays with what we see in life and how we experience it.
Yes, like I see men and women, biologically different, but I think men and women, work, men and women work, at jobs for, providing for their kids or for whomever they live with. I just know the only difference is they're biologically like they're physically different. They're physically different and all that, built differently, but they have very similar roles. Like they both work, they both clean, they both do everything. You know what I mean? They do a lot of things together. Or you know what I mean? Like men and women are very similar. They're just built you know what I mean? Like physically, mentally, just a little bit. If you look at that side, but I think men and women are similar, and then they are a little bit different, but they're mostly just similar. So
Yeah. I also found out like something very interesting. So, you know, like from the distinctions between how we express our, like, just how we express ourselves between men and women, right? So, I read this and I think this one is interesting. So, if you look at the research, you may find that many studies do not observe men and women equally. For example, taking frequent selfies is considered narcissistic in men. However, it doesn't contribute to female narcissism because it's normalized. Having multiple sex partners is another factor. Another factor that implies male narcissism. However, for women, because it's normalized. It doesn't for women because it's normalized. Like basically, like a woman can take. Yeah, it's like it's weird because like a person can take selfies, but it's narcissistic for men. But women can do it, and nobody really talks about that. You know what I mean? But it's not really a bad thing. It's just I don't know. It's how people perceive it. I think that is the issue. Like it's the perception of how they are expressing, like, you know how like men flash their money, like post it on like Instagram or like Facebook or anything,
I know what you mean.
and like chains and stuff and like new cars. That is considered
Yeah, they justify
narcissistic.
it for like, yeah, and if a woman does that, they justify it saying, "Oh no, women shouldn't act like that," you know.
Oh yeah,
So let me just read it down to where it can make more sense. So spending too much time in front of the mirror is considered narcissistic for men, but not for women because it's normalized. Buying too many clothes is narcissistic for men, but it's normalized for women. So like, you know, it's not I don't really know. This is coming from like a different source. So like these are coming from like different perspectives, obviously. I'm not reading this and just saying, yeah, that's probably what it is, because I want people to, you know, correct me, like challenge me on this. Like, because this is from my personal experience. I've seen a lot of women that act like they're just better than, and like I was reading a lot of like personal experiences from like different people, and it was kind of like similar to mine, and like it's really just on like the dating scene. I think it's really a big issue on some cases.
it's there's one thing that I want to bring up. There's definitely something. So for example, so let's say So when a woman is like, with a child teaching and all that, they're like, oh, that's very, oh, she's teaching him something, oh, she's nurturing. But when a guy is teaching a child, they think something, very incriminal, something very, something bad's going on. That's what I've noticed too, in differences. Like I've noticed that with a lot of people. Like a lot of people don't trust men teaching kids, but they trust women teaching kids.
Man. All right, let's talk about video games. What's going on with video games right now?
Yeah.
So we got fucking remastered Resident Evil 4. The Call of Duty clones, but they're not really Call of Duty clones because they're named differently and the gameplay's different.
It still can be a Call of Duty clone.
Has anybody played X Defiant?
Yes.
Nope.
No, I haven't yet. I'm still waiting on that game, honestly.
I don't even know how everybody's playing it right now. And like the beta is out, unfortunately, and like people's already talking about it, and it's like I'm seeing the gameplay, and it's fucking fun.
Yeah. No. It's fun. I'm glad that we're talking about this topic because I remember like when they first announced it back in 2021. I'm like, okay, this actually looks pretty fun. Then they said it was going to release in 2022, but that never happened. But it's good that they waited, so they can take time to publish and actually make their games good.
Shoot, it feels like they don't have enough time.
Right. I know some Gears of War fans are still waiting on Gears 6, but
we're all waiting for them to make another game after 5.
Like it's so like 5. I mean, I won't say it was so bad, but it was like if you were expecting high expectations, you are not expecting the right thing,
Man, I just want to play a fun game. Like I haven't been able to get into a shooting game recently. I feel like Battlefield. I bought Battlefield and like Modern Warfare 2, and I don't even play the games no more. I feel like I ruined my life, my gaming life, just by buying those games, just to not play them no more. It's so it's really sad, actually. I don't like battle royales as much. I wish I can get into it, but can't really can't get down to that one life stuff. Like I just never like having one life in anything. Like if I ever had one life, it would be Pac-Man. I can't do it in a shooting game. I love to respawn and shoot somebody in the head. Like that's it's all I need. Is if I get shot in a way that I don't like, I want to come back to life and shoot you back. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't. I don't like the trend of battle royale. But I mean, I hope X Defiant isn't like a battle royale game.
It's going to be a good game. Like, if I might just say something now, like I think it's like games are getting like kind of boring. Basically, it's like
it's either because
I enjoy playing games is like basically like if I'm with people,
I'm starting to think it's like me. It's either me getting older, or I don't know, or just games really starting to become not that fun. I don't even know. I'm starting to think I'm just getting older though.
If I may add to something about that, I think that's starting to happen to me. I'm starting to get older. I realize all these games are so boring, and I'm starting to get kind of, I don't know, like there's only a few games left that I never get bored of, but I'm feeling like, oh wow, this game, I love playing, and the next thing you know, a few hours later, I'm getting bored of it. And some of it's even new games I've never tried before, and I'm playing those, and I'm just...
Like I bought Call of Duty, and I'm already bored of it,
Oh,
but I also play from time to time, but I'm still like bored of it.
Thank God they have Game Pass, so I can try something. And if I don't like it, I can just uninstall it.
But yeah, we're Xbox gamers. That's what we do.
I will mention that PlayStation has gotten better with their exclusives. I will admit their exclusives are very fun. They have this similar...
Yeah, I've seen them too.
Where the graphics are so amazing, the dialogue and the scripture is so amazing, and the open world's so beautiful for most games. I mean, PlayStation's never gotten me bored. Like, I miss having my PS5 because I had a PS5 that's, and then I sold it because I didn't like how PS5 restricted so many restrictions compared to the PS4. And I kind of regret it now, but I had to say, do I sell the PS5 and get an Xbox? I chose the Xbox because the Xbox makes the backwards compatibility, which the PS3 era didn't have because they didn't understand their own technology, but that's another story. But
man,
the Xbox also has that Xbox One Enhance or Series Enhance, which I love so much. I get to play Fallout 3, Assassin's Creed 1 and all that.
Yeah, like Xbox has like a really good variety of games now. Like they might not got the exclusives. Like I really do get jealous over the PlayStation exclusives because they stole Virtual Fighter. Has anybody heard of a Virtual Fighter? It's like a fighting game.
Yeah, I believe so.
Never heard of that.
They stole that. Like it was the same people that made Dead or Alive. Has anybody heard of Dead or Alive?
Yes.
Of course.
I think they was like the same company, I think. And like it was a really good fighting game. They took that. They have God of War, obviously, but we barely even have Gears of War. I mean, they made it like that.
Yeah, they already flopped the bag on that.
I'm sad they didn't have Halo PlayStation.
And then Halo is so weird. They just now. They updated Halo where it plays good, but it's too late. I feel like they already the damage is already done.
Yeah, people already left.
I'm on and off the game like a bad relationship. Like it's so bad that some of these games that that are exclusive to Xbox isn't really like popping like that anymore. And
yeah.
Have you seen these PlayStation commercials recently? Why do they look so much better than Xbox? I don't know. If you ever seen
the graphics too.
If you've
I don't know if y'all seen the Harry Potter game, but that actually looks pretty good.
If you look at the production of how they produce their commercials, it looks like they know what they're trying to do. Like they're just trying to
they're good with their exclusives.
Like oh no, it was like PlayStation Planet or something. It's so weird.
Yeah, PlayStation's very good with their exclusives. They definitely they definitely put more money towards their exclusives more than some of their technological technical features, which some of their technical features on PS5 is horrible. There's hardly any way. There's no social community kind of thing. There's only you have to find players through the games itself. You can't, make a post or something like you used to, or if you want to meet random people.
They don't have like a post thing on PlayStation?
I think they got rid of it after the 4. The 4 had the best features. I honestly thought the PlayStation 4 was the best. This is my opinion, though.
I need to try out the PlayStation 5. I'm over here just like dissing the PlayStation. Like, I mean, it's probably because I never liked the controller. Like every time I played Call of Duty, like I remember playing Black Ops 3 on PlayStation, and I sucked. I played Mortal Kombat on PlayStation, and I sucked. It was just simply because I played Xbox for so long. I never got used to the PlayStation controller. It just felt too light, and the button it was the analog sticks placements. I always got messed up on how the analog sticks feels on it. It was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah. Totally gonna end it off here. Is everybody cool?
Yeah.
Everybody hydrated? Well, I'm gonna... Well, I want everybody to have a wonderful day, and this is the NAR Cast podcast, and I am signing off. Have a good day.
Adios.